Hi friends and welcome back. Happy New Year. It's 2025 and I'm so excited for the book releases coming up this year. So I have made a list of 9 books that I cannot wait to read. They are all mystery, thriller, and horror. There are many more books being released, but these were just the 9 that I was drawn to. My coffee and let's get started. So first up is Beautiful Ugly by Alice Feeney. This one is being released on January 14th and it is a domestic thriller, mystery, and psychological suspense. So this one we are following a husband who is an author and his wife mysteriously disappeared in an accident. Apparently, there was a car accident and they never found her body. It was just very weird and suspicious. And this husband is trying to move on. He's overcome by grief and he's having a hard time moving on. So he ends up moving to a Scottish island to continue to write and just get his life back on track when he sees a woman who looks just like his wife. This one I feel it said it's a mystery about marriage and revenge, so I think there's going to be a big plot twist in the end. I can just see it already that it's not what we think it's gonna be, so I'm excited for that one. Next up is The Last Days of Kira Mullen by Nisi French. This one is a psychological thriller and it's being released on March 4th, 2025. I believe this one is also a British novel. And this one we're following our main character, Nancy, who is going through a little hard time in her life. She's going through a psychological breakdown. I think it mentions that she's going to therapy, taking medication, and her and her boyfriend live on this apartment, flat, and they end up finding their neighbor in the downstairs apartment dead, and they ruled it out as a suicide, but Nancy thinks it was a murder, and no one believes her because of her state of mind. So I think it also says that she can't trust herself, so she's out to prove that this was a murder and not a suicide, but no one is believing her. It sounds interesting, and I can't wait. So next up, we have The Business Trip by Jesse Garcia. This one is being released on January 14th, 2025. It is a mystery and domestic thriller. And this one is a debut novel as well. So this one, we are following 2 women who are on a flight. One woman is going on a business trip and the other woman is running away from an abusive relationship. So they're on this plane and they're sending text messages to their friends and family, and the text messages are very similar and they're about the same man. So these 2 women who don't know each other are somehow connected to the same man. And after that, I guess they get to wherever they're gonna go on this flight and they end up disappearing. Now, this man that they're both connected to is like the main suspect, and did he do something to them? It is a twisty thriller, so this one also sounds very exciting, and it takes place on a plane, which I love airplanes. Next up, we have Into the Fall by Tamara Miller. This one is being released on February 1st, and it is a domestic thriller. This one is also a debut novel. So in this one, we're following a couple, a husband, wife, and their children. They end up going to Canada for a vacation, and they're up in the Canadian wilderness, I think camping, when the husband vanishes without a trace. So I guess our main character is the wife, and she is on this mission to try to find out what happened to her husband, where he is, and trying to find him. but I think the case grows cold, and as she is trying to work on the case herself, she ends up uncovering dark secrets. I think there's a lot more to their marriage than we think. And it's also very atmospheric. I think, yeah, there's a storm that takes place. It's out in the wilderness, so it's very much a thriller in that sense, and a mystery. So this one also sounds very good. Okay, next up we have The Last Room on the Left by Leah Conan or Conan. I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing that. This one is being released also on January 14th, 2025, and this one is a mystery, thriller, and psychological suspense. I'm just gonna read the synopsis to you because this one I'm very excited about. So, Carrie's life is in shambles. Her husband has left her, her drinking habit has officially become a problem, and although the deadline for her big book deal, the one that was supposed to change everything, is looming, she can't write a word. When she sees an ad for a caretaker position at a revitalized roadside motel in the Catskills, she jumps at the chance. It's the perfect getaway to finish her book and start fresh. But as she hunkers down in a blizzard, she spots something through the window, a pale arm peeking out from a heap of snow. Trapped in the mountains and alone with a dead frozen body, Carrie must keep her head and make it out before the killer comes for her too. But is the deadly game of cat and mouse all in her mind? The body count begs to differ. This one sounds so good. It's kind of giving off like The Shining. I think it's also going to be perfect for the winter. So it does say a blizzard, and I'm excited for this one. This one sounds really good. So next up we have Close Your Eyes and Count to 10 by Lisa Unger. This one is being released on February 25th, 2025. And in this one we're following a single mother who goes to this island. There's like this rich man who I think hosts like a reality TV show, but it's a high stakes game of hide and seek, and the winner gets the prize, and she goes there trying to win, but then a storm hits and it becomes like this survival story. She is trying to make it back to her kids. So this one sounds pretty high stakes. It's a thriller, and I did read The Couple in 5B by Lisa Unger, which I loved, so I can't wait to read this one. So next up we have Witchcraft for Wayward Girls by Grady Hendrix. This one is being released also on January 14, 2025, and this one is a supernatural horror. And we are following some girls, they call them the Wayward Girls, and they go to this house. I think it's a house where girls that like got pregnant before marriage or things like that end up going. They have their babies, and when they come home it's like nothing happened. So they're powerless. All of the decisions are being made for them by their parents. So all of the decisions are being made for them by the grown-ups. But a librarian at that house ends up giving them a book of witchcraft. And now these girls kind of dive into this world of witchcraft. And it says here, power is in the hands of the girls for the first time in their lives. But power can destroy as easily as it creates, and it's never given freely. So this one sounds so interesting because I think that these girls kind of have, like it says, power in their hands for the first time, and I think that they might end up making the wrong choices or probably awaken some monster. I think you know, I wouldn't be surprised because Grady Hendrix does have like this supernatural element to his stories. I really enjoyed My Best Friend's Exorcism. That was such a good book, but I did not like How to Sell a Haunted House. Unfortunately, that book, I gave it like a 2.5 out of 5 stars. It was just, I feel like it had such a good potential with the ghost story, like the puppets, but there was too much drama, like family drama for my liking. So I did not enjoy that book, but I am gonna give this one a try because it sounds very interesting. So I can't wait for that one. Next we have The Crash by Frida McFadden. This one is being released on January 28th, 2025. This one is a psychological thriller, a domestic thriller as well. And this one we're following our main character who is 8 months pregnant. This one's another wintry one. Her car breaks down, so she's stranded there in this blizzard and alone and pregnant. How terrifying. So she's rescued by this couple who offered to take her to their cabin, and she is finally feeling safe. She's waiting out the storm, but then she realizes that something is not right with this couple, and she is probably in bigger danger than she was before. So this one, I think it's going to turn out to be a survival story. Again, it is perfect for the winter, and I can't wait to read this. I have not read anything from Frida McFadden. I know that The Maid, I think it's The Maid, I don't know if it's a series, but there were several books by her, The Maid, that were just so hyped about, and I still haven't gotten to them. So I have a lot of catching up to do, but this one sounds very good. Another one to add to my winter TBR. All right, guys, and last we have With a Vengeance by Riley Sager. This one is being released on June 10th, 2025, and this one is a mystery, horror, and psychological thriller. So this one, I'm just gonna read the synopsis for you. This one says, in 1942, 6 people destroyed Anna Matheson's family. 12 years later, she's ready for retribution. Under false pretenses, Anna has lured those responsible for her family's downfall onto a luxury train from Philadelphia to Chicago, an overnight journey of 13 hours. Her goal? To confront the people who wronged her, get them to confess their crimes, and deliver them into the hands of authorities waiting at the end of the line. Justice will at last be served. But Anna's plan is quickly derailed by the murder of one of the passengers. As the train barrels through the night, it becomes clear that someone else on board is enacting their own form of revenge, and that they won't stop until everyone else is dead. With time running out before the train reaches its destination, Anna is forced to hunt the killer in their midst while protecting the people she hates the most. In order to destroy her enemies, she must first save them, even though it means putting her own life at risk. This one sounds so good. I am so excited for this one. It's giving like Agatha Christie, Murder on the Orient Express, and also it's themed in the 40s, so it's kind of a historical mystery, which I love, and I can't wait for this one. This one sounds so good. So those are the 9 books that I look forward to reading in 2025. I am sure that I'll be adding more, so let me know in the comments below if any of these sound interesting to you. Will you be adding them to your TBR for this year? If so, we can read them together. I am so excited and I can't wait to read them. So yeah, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.